Killing Floor 2 is a wave-based shooter in which you and 5 other people try and defend against hordes of zombies known as the Zeds. Each game gives you a certain amount of rounds that you have to survive on, which kind of depends on the settings that you choose to play the game. What Killing Floor 2 does really well is giving you a lot of freedom in choosing how you want to play. There is 12 different classes in Killing Floor, which allows a lot of variety. You've got characters like the Berserker, which charges in melee style, the Medic that shoots people at range to heal them, the Demolitionist with explosives, the Firebug who's like a flamethrower, the Sharpshooter at range, and you've got your more traditional classes that have like assault rifles and so forth. Each class has its own different weapons. While you can use weapons from other classes, you're best sticking to your own class, as each class has specific perk bonuses for their weapons. Basically, as you level up, you get different choices on a skill tree between getting more damage for this weapon or that weapon and so forth. And with all those classes, you get a ton of different weapon variety, with choices like flamethrowers, pistols, RPGs, even pistols that spew fire, like flamethrowers, grenade launchers, and more traditional assault rifles, katanas, and more. If there's one thing this game does really well, it's in allowing you to play how you want to. There is a class and a type of weapon for everyone in this game. And the game does a pretty decent job at incentivizing you to split up your comp. Having all of one class or character doesn't really work out as well as having more of a mix. There is a ton of level variety in this game, which ensures you'll never be bored of the maps, which is great in this type of game. Each level is well designed and feels like a maze, and there's a ton of variety in how they look. There's hellish maps that look like some kind of underground hellish maze. There's maps that are in cities. There's maps that have been nuked. There's maps that take place in like a ranch farm. There's maps that take underwater in a sea lab. It's great, the amount of variety in this game. Now, where Killing Floor 2 really drops the balls when it comes to enemy variety, there's only a handful of enemy types, and while they are very well designed to all feel different from each other, like the gremlin monster that kind of crawls around, the mobs that charge at you melee style, the mobs that shoot at you from range, the bigger guys, there just isn't enough there. And as a result, the game after 4 or so hours can feel like a real drag as you're killing the same enemies again and again and again with little variety. And probably one of the most disappointing things about this game is the lack of boss variety. At the end of each level you have to fight a boss, and there's only 2 of them in the game! 2 of them! For a game that's so heavy on grinding and repeating the same content again and again, that's unacceptable. And difficulty is another area where Killing Floor 2 really drops the ball. The beginner normal difficulty is just way too damn easy. There's no challenge, there's no risk of death, and as a result it can just feel like you're going through the motions. You can just stand there, killing and clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking as you kill and mow down enemies. It wasn't until I jacked the difficulty up after being so bored for about the first 4 hours that I found the game was actually pretty challenging and a lot more fun when you had to work as a team to try and survive. And finally, there's a versus mode, which is a lot like Left 4 Dead's versus mode. One team plays as the monsters and the other team plays as the humans. Unfortunately, not many people actually play the versus mode. It's very hard to find a game, and it's honestly not that enjoyable to play the monsters either. Now, overall, as a whole, Killing Floor 2 gets a 6 out of 10. There's a lot of really good parts about this game. The satisfying killing of zombies, the great amount of weapon and class variety, the awesome amount of level variety. But it really drops the ball in the most important areas, which is an enemy variety, and the variety of the gameplay content itself. The lack of boss variety and so forth makes this game so boring past the first 4 or 5 hours. Now, if you're okay with grinding, you're okay with playing the same content over and over and over, then sure, pick this game up. You'll probably enjoy it. But if you're looking for a little more variety, you're going to find yourself really bored very quickly.